All right. Can anybody hear me? One, two, three. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Loud and clear. Thank you, Windsor Valley. Just tell me I got 14. There we go. I see and hear you. Yeah, nice. Okay. What am I going to do with that? Wait just 1 minute, 16. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sidetrack Sunday. I haven't done this in a while. It is July 13th, 2025. And the good thing, I think it's good. I don't know. You tell me. I'm not going to take anything apart today. I just have some slideshows. I recently visited the Pennsylvania Trolley Museum. The Pennsylvania Trolley Museum is in Washington, Pennsylvania, which is southwest of Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh. Where did that go? Thank you, Bob. I'm cooked. I was out cutting the grass. I waited till about 4 o'clock. I thought, well, I'll wait a little bit. And man, it's hot. I'm just starting to cool down here. So, I'm wiped out. So hopefully we can get through this without any problem. So I had a terrific PowerPoint slide for you, and then I tried to load it. And what had happened is I can only load a PowerPoint slide up to 50 megabits. And so StreamYard would not let me load my PowerPoint slide. So what I'm going to have to do is share a screen and show it to you from there. So let me go ahead and do that, and then get my mouse over here where it belongs. And is this the right one here? No, wait. Sorry. Okay, we're seeing a PowerPoint slide. I do not have. Why do I not see that on the screen here? No, you don't see the PowerPoint slide. Stop screen. Share screen. Don't show these tips again. Use Chrome. Aha. Allow. Got to add it to the stage. Way to go. Oh, that's the wrong one. No. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, we have the Pennsylvania Trolley Museum is in Washington, Pennsylvania, which is southwest of Pittsburgh. So I happened to be out there and took some pictures there. There it is. Okay, thank you very much, Windsor Valley Railroad. So this was originally started by the Pittsburgh Electric Railways Club. So it attempted to establish, what it wanted to do was make a museum for larger cars that were up to 60 feet long and 50 tons. There had been some other museums and so forth, and they realized that they needed a bigger place to do this. And they found a couple of different places along the West Penn Railways line in Fayette and Westmoreland counties, which again is south and west of Pittsburgh. But they were kind of too far away from Pittsburgh. Fayette and Westmoreland are pretty far. So in 1953, Pittsburgh Railways used to run out to Washington in Charleroi, and they decided that they were going to abandon that rail line and no longer have streetcars. So the club there was happy to get a piece of that track and the section, and it's pretty far out there. So they had plenty of space. So there's a couple pages in here on this, but anyhow, in 1954, they were able to open up the museum, and they got 3 cars in there. They bought 2 of them like years earlier, and they had been sitting in storage in Pittsburgh somewhere, and it took a long time, before they got this started, and then we're able to get the cars there. So it was originally known as Arden Electric Railway, which is near the town of Arden. Arden is a town out there in Pennsylvania. So it was officially dedicated and open. It was officially dedicated by 1963 as a historic railway project. So the display building is 28,000 square feet and was occupied in 2004 and houses more than 30 cars. So this is the new building that they have. They had a couple other buildings, but this is the latest. Again, this is there was a whole lot to read in here, and I'll show you this book in a little bit. Well, Sparky, didn't you see my video on that? Yes. Great Northern did send me the trolley, and I did a video on it. So, yeah, cool. That's awesome, but you have been missed on Sundays. Okay, cool. Thank you. So this is the Pittsburgh 101. And I wasn't sure how to do these slides here. So just go along with me and whatever. Oh, I need to get the mouse over here. I'll go to that. So the Pittsburgh 101, Fifth Avenue Parks and Cemeteries. I don't know why it says Parks and Cemeteries on it, but it was built by the John Stephen Company in New York at about 1970. It was assigned to the Sarah Street line in south side of Pittsburgh, which is south side of Pittsburgh. It's the south side. It's along the river there. It was retired in 1915 and later put on display at the South Park Fairgrounds, which is south of Pittsburgh, in 1934. And late after that, it was stored somewhere else. And finally, when they had space at the Trolley Museum in 2004, they got it there. Was that a cable car? It is a streetcar. There is no, it's a powered car. No, I'm sorry. No, it was a horse-drawn car, as a matter of fact. Yeah. No. Yeah, it was a horse-drawn car. Need to be able to get from there. Okay. Okay. Happy Valley Hobbies. Edward finally made it. He found the link. Okay, cool. And if I can get the mouse on the right thing. So it was put on display at the Trolley Museum in 2014. I didn't know how else to do this. It'd be nice if I could do like 2 PowerPoint slides to show you the picture and the facts to go with it. But, we'll just go with it. So, yeah, like I said, it's a typical horse car with a Bombay roof and open platforms. So it's just kind of open. And there was a sliding door that separated the crew from the passengers. So it had oil lamps in it. It didn't have electricity or anything. So it had a central oil lamp in the middle, for light, and then there are 2 oil marker lamps in the front, and a leaded glass dome skylight provided natural light and ventilation for the lamp. That I don't know. So this is the Philadelphia and Westchester, number 78. So there's about 30 of these cars I'm going to go through. We'll see how long this takes us, and hopefully we can get through it, and it'll be fun. So the Philadelphia and Westchester is known as the 80 series cars, purchased from the Brill Company in 1931 and 32 to combat the decline in revenue caused by the Great Depression. So these were supposed to be pretty economical to run, and they only needed one man to operate it, and they were constructed of lightweight aluminum, which again made them easy to or efficient to run and use less power. So this car 78 was acquired by the museum in 1982. So that's what that is. Car number 78, acquired in 1982. So the Pittsburgh 3487. Again, this is an older one. All of these, you can see like where the R is, there's like a little card there, or an information thing. And I took pictures of all of them, but you can't really read the pictures, so I didn't bother to do that. We got all night. Okay, cool. So nobody else has anything to do, so that's cool. So we're hanging out with Dave. All right, cool. Let me get back to my slide here. So that was built, the Pittsburgh 3487 was built in 1905 for Pittsburgh Railways. Originally built out of wood, since steel was not yet a major building material. Metal sides were added later. Yeah, so these were originally built out of wood, and then at some point later, they made it metal because the wood was kind of coming apart. So they lasted until the 1920s. In 1934, it was equipped for wreck car service and assigned to Charleroi Car House. So, kind of towed other cars and things. And it's acquired by the museum in 1960. And this one here is the only one that is surviving of this type. So that's what this is. Again, that was used for a wrecking to tow other cars for wrecking service. Yeah, so the museum, they just kind of collect whatever yes, that's correct, Bob. The auto alongside is correct for that era. I guess that's why it's sitting there. So it's from the 1920s. And Ray still has not got his computer running. Hold on there. Sorry, guys. Keeping up with it. Are these cars broad gauge? Yes and no. Some are, some are not. Of course, you have to stump me with a trivia question. I would say that this one probably is. And I'll show you some of the other cars. It kind of explains it. So it depends on where they're from. But I'm pretty sure that this one would have been broad gauge. Some of them... I clicked on the wrong comment there. Some of them were and some were not. Yes, Ray got a new dog. Check out his pictures. Beautiful dog. So let me get back to here. Okay, yeah, we already went through that. The Pittsburgh 3756. Again, that's a unique car. And like I said, the museum just collects different cars. These are collected from like West Virginia, Ohio. Probably half of them are from the Pittsburgh area because, of course, it's easy to get them there. There's one from New Jersey and some like Central Pennsylvania, and of course, Philadelphia. And there's also one from New Orleans that I'll show you in a little bit. So This is interesting. So, yeah, this is one of 20 cars purchased in 1925 to replace old heavy wooden interurban cars on the Washington and Charleroi lines. And again, Washington Charleroi is what goes south west of Pittsburgh. So those cars were fitted with couplers so they could operate as a two-car train. And during World War II, the first 9 cars were assigned service to the shipyards on Neville Island. Neville Island is an island in the middle of the Ohio River. Again, this is like the boxcar thing or the graphics car thing. As I start looking stuff up, I find out that I don't know anything. And so, yeah, there's a shipyard on Neville Island in the Ohio River, which is like probably straight west of Pittsburgh. So, yeah, this car is operational. And during the bicentennial celebration, bicentennial, 1976. On July 4th, they actually used that car again and ran it through Pittsburgh and gave rides for 10 cents. Am I missing any comments here? I have to make a comment here. Earlier today, Ray had texted me if I was ready for the live stream. And I was in the middle of trying to type these slides up, and I was really having a spelling problem. I couldn't type. And I kept getting spelling errors, and he had texted me right at that time. And sorry, Ray, I was a little short with you there. Like I mistyped everything as it was going. So don't be afraid to text me or anything during the presentation, or remind me at a later date if there's something wrong or you don't see something. So apologize for that, Ray. So that car was. It does operate and it has been used. So in 1983, you all should know Fred Rogers. I don't know. Does everybody know Fred Rogers? And I'm looking at this and I realized I forgot to welcome everybody, but we'll get to that later. So, yeah, Fred Rogers. And of course, if you've always watched the Mr. Rogers show, he always had that trolley there in his show. So it says on here, you can recreate this picture of Mr. Rogers. So there it was. And, I had to do it. There we go. Let me get a drink here, guys. You're killing me, Sparky. So, yeah, we were having fun. I was with my son on this trip, and you'll see some pictures of him in a little bit. Should I stop and go through and welcome everybody since I forgot that, or just wait till the end? I don't know. Shaker Heights. Shaker Heights, I think, was in Ohio. And again, there's nothing really that particularly special about this car, but they just tried to collect a representation from around the country. So Shaker Heights 94 is an upper middle class suburban community in southeast of downtown Cleveland. So yeah, that's from Ohio. And that was built by the Pullman Standard Company. Edward was asking about, are they standard gauge or not? So like the Shaker Heights, for example, is a wide gauge. And normally the streetcars were like, I forget where, 8 feet 4 inches or something like that. And the Shaker Heights was built 9 feet wide and 55 feet long so that the center doors would open. So, excuse me, as you see, yeah, this has center doors on it. And in the center of that picture or in the center of the trolley is a collage, some photographs on that. Hang on. Nathan, I did, and we'll see how much time we have. Looks like we're moving right along here. So I have a couple photographs from inside the museum, and we'll see if I can show that. Fred Rogers lived in Fox Chapel, a mile or so from my place in O'Hare. Okay. Yeah, I knew they lived around there somewhere. I used to enjoy watching that. A lot of they were kind of boring. And of course, the puppets on that show were kind of scary, to tell you the truth. But what I did enjoy about the Mr. Rogers show was when he would visit companies, like, he'd visit some place where they were manufacturing something, or, just anything. So that's what I enjoyed about um, the Mr. Rogers show. So we're moving on to the parlor car from Toledo. So this was kind of a special car, and you can see like the windows are rounded there, and has some lighting in there if you look really close. So this is something that was rented or used for special occasions. For instance, if, I don't know, a governor, president, somebody important was in town, if there was something going on, that's what that was used for. Nathan, you know what's funny? As I was putting these slides together, I was thinking, where did I see this before? And I remember that Nathan did, in fact, show a couple video clips from this trolley museum. And I remember he had the streetcar simulator. So the parlor car from Toledo, built in 1906 for sightseers. 47-foot long, contains a kitchen and a lavatory. Like I said, it was for special occasions, I guess, sightseers too. And then in 1908, it was used to transport dignitaries from Toledo to Detroit for the World Series. Served as a plush cabin after that. Somebody, used it as a nice vacation place. And so Trolleyville Mobile Home Development is, like a mobile home park or vacation place or something. And they kind of like that place in Lancaster or Strasburg, the Red Caboose Inn. So I guess they had trolleys there. Let's see if I have, okay, that's all I have on that. You're right. So like I said, like I was saying, it was for sightseers and other special events or whatever. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, they put a little bit of detail into that. Just need a new socket. Oh, okay, for that. Okay. So moving right along, the West Penn 739. And again, they just get these from different places. Random trolley, well, not random, but anything that's a little bit unique, just that would go in a museum. So the West Penn Railway 700 series, center door interurban, served an area to the east and south of Pittsburgh, built in 1925 at the Connellsville shop, remained in service until 1952. Was the residence for the Smale family near Jeannette, Pennsylvania. And then it was moved to the museum in June of 1989. Yeah, if I could speak. Okay. And you'll notice a little bit one of the factors in here is this change or the shift in cars was the Great Depression. So there were cars built in, the 1800s and then the 1900s, and they kind of stayed similar. And then there was the Great Depression, and a lot of streetcar lines suffered. And then they had to come up with ways to make the transportation cheaper. And then after the Great Depression, then they started coming up with new designs. And I'll kind of get into that just a little bit. Do I have family that lived in Pittsburgh? Nathan, I grew up in Pittsburgh. I lived in Pittsburgh until I was 18 years old. I live south of Pittsburgh. It's called South Park. And so I was there recently. So what I'm doing, I got two monitors here, so I have to switch the mouse back and forth to continue with these slides. So this is the Philadelphia 606. So we're getting into something a little bit more modern here. And I wish I had taken better pictures of this. And there's Dave there showing the Philadelphia route there. And the blue line that you see that I'm pointing to is the Market Street line. And actually, I didn't realize it until after my son took the picture. And so that is the Market Street line. looks more like a subway. Yeah, it kind of does. They did kind of change designs, and I think I have the dates of this in here somewhere. So yeah, built by the Bud Company. So it's a Bud car, in 1960 for the Market Frankfurt line, and they were built as single units or two car pairs. This particular one is a single car unit, and it was donated to the museum by the city of Philadelphia. I forget how long it was actually used, but but I guess when they were done with it, they donated it to that trolley museum. Yeah, that's kind of that's what happened. And internet urban. Yeah, that was what I was saying before about the Great Depression, and plus the fact that 1920s. Well, it kind of went good and bad because like the 1920s, people started getting cars, so they were like, forget the trolley. I could drive there. And then Depression started, so then they were like, well, I guess I need to depend on the trolley. So yeah. Oh, okay. So Chuck, you grew up in the Philadelphia area. And I'm realizing how much water I actually lost from out there cutting the grass. Let me get my mouse back to where it was. So yeah, that's a Philadelphia 606, kind of a nice looking Bud car there. And yeah, one person seats. The Johnstown 350. This is kind of a neat car. Steve 87 here. Buses, actually, the tire companies promoted buses. Oh, okay. I didn't realize the tire company actually got involved on top of this. Okay, very good. You grew up in Fishtown. Okay, good. Yeah, I just moved out here temporarily 35 years ago or something. So, I didn't plan on staying in the Philadelphia area, but I'm here still. So the Johnstown 350. I don't know. I guess the Pepsi-Cola thing was just there for advertisement purposes or whatever. I don't know. The city of Johnstown had its own trolley system until 1960. So again, we were talking about the standard gauge and the narrow gauge. So 4 feet, 8.5 inches would be a narrow gauge. So they were specific. Those cars were specific to the Johnstown area. And since they were kind of unique, 8 of these cars have been saved throughout the United States. This particular one was moved to the museum in 1959. So this represents, small town trolley once common. Whoops. So yeah, there's the Johnstown 350. Sorry, guys. Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, interesting fact. Appreciate everybody commenting and helping me out with this. Because I don't know what I'm doing. I'll show you the book here when I get done. So again, I was telling you there's trolleys from different places, and this one here is actually from New Orleans. New Orleans had been famous for its trolleys. So that particular car was built by the Pearlie Thomas Company of High Point, North Carolina for the New Orleans Public Service. In 1947, it featured in Life magazine. So yeah, this particular car was featured on Life magazine because that car was in the play A Streetcar Named Desire. Maybe some of you know that, maybe you don't. So only 2 lines remained in New Orleans, the Canal Street and St. Charles Avenue. So then it was delivered to the museum on a railroad flat car. So what happened is that car became available, and the museum was very excited to get it. And as soon as they had space for it, they were very happy to get that car. It's not draperies. Uh, uh, also, most shared streets. So if you're stuck in traffic, yeah, I remember when I was a kid. The troll. I used the trolleys a lot when I was. I guess before I was like 12 or something. You know, when I was young in the 1970s, and they ran all throughout Pittsburgh, and we could actually take a trolley. You know, go down the hill from where I lived, catch a trolley, and ride it. You know, near Pittsburgh to Carrick to see Grandma, and then you walk up the very steep hill from the trolley stop up to Grandma's house. So you know, so the trolley was fun, or you know, means of transportation for a kid. So the Philadelphia Suburban 66 and 73. So this is just 66. I don't have the 73, or I don't have a picture of it. It's not in the museum. This is kind of a nice looking car, huh? Oh, yes, I highlighted this, or this picture is in here because if you look where I'm pointing, it says watch your step. And of course, you know, I trip on everything. And so you got to watch your step. Yes, Sparky, uphill both ways. If you visit Pittsburgh, you'll know that that is a fact. No matter where you go in Pittsburgh, it's uphill both ways. Come on, Mouse. Portland still runs a trolley and people wait for it versus the new cars. Okay. Portland still has a trolley. Yeah. Pittsburgh still does have well, they call it the T now. It's no longer called the trolley, it's the T. And actually, they have these really modern looking silver cans or cars, you know, that look like the Bud cars or something like that. So if you've ever been in Pittsburgh and you take the T, yeah, that's what you'll get. Keep your eye out there, Sparky. You'll enjoy this. Okay, Philadelphia and Suburban 66 and 73. Again, this is the 66. And yes, there you go. Watch your step. Baked with more milk, rich in flavor, the Bond bread. Built 1926 by the J.G. Brill Company. It served Philadelphia and Westchester and the successor. So Philadelphia Suburban Transportation, well, Philadelphia, what was that called? Philadelphia Railways or something, that was later changed to the Philadelphia Suburban Transportation Company. And then I guess SEPTA officially. So that one required a two-man operating crew. And some of these, I forgot to go back and note, some trolleys, I don't know if you're aware of it, some cars had two-man operation, some had one man. And sometimes what they would do if there wasn't a turnaround is the trolley would go to the end of the line. The conductor would have to get up, walk to the other end, then change the pantograph from one end to the other, and then he would drive the trolley from the other end of the trolley. So, yeah. Wait a minute. The old red arrow lines out there. Okay. Hike to all the places in Portland. Yeah. Once you get inside some of these, of course, they're all, you know, dome roofs. So inside you have a lot of room, but yeah, doorways, not so much. Okay. Suburban 66. Watch your head. Watch your step. Okay, I already did this. We talked about the two-man or the one-man. There's my kid in there. I brought Mini-Me along with me. This picture of him inside there. And you can see all the old advertisements up on the side there. And he is not any shorter than me, believe it or not. Nathan, where'd he go? Yeah, that was the first one that I showed there, Nathan. The Pittsburgh 101. Yeah, you can go back and see that. Where am I? Okay, yeah, so there he is inside. And then, okay, so this is the next one, the Philadelphia 2711. So this was probably the more common one that I remember, this style of car. Well, this is in Philadelphia, but the ones in Pittsburgh were similar to it. So the motorist caution, passengers leave by center door. Yeah, so they had to put that on there Was he signaling? I guess so. He was. He may have been. He wanted to get off. Ray, you blew my thunder here. No, that's all right. That's all right. Thank you very much for your participation. I appreciate it. So yeah, the 2711 was one of 210 PCC cars ordered by the Philadelphia Transportation Company in 1946. Again, this is after the war. They wanted to amp up the trolley service and try to come up with an economical and efficient trolley, because really all the ones that were built before them were really pretty heavy and took a lot of power to operate. So the 2711 is again survived in the service until 1990s. So that's a pretty long time, really. Assigned to the high patronage lines through Center City, I guess around the museum area probably. And 1999 was acquired by the museum and made into a wheelchair car. So what is a PCC car? President's Conference Committee. First built in the United States in the 1930s. So there were about 5,000 PCC cars built around 1952 after the war. So yeah, this design here, like I said, was a pretty generic, pretty easy. They could pound these out, and they were pretty successful. So good job, for mass production, right? San Francisco Municipal Railway is the largest North American operator of PCC cars. It was using a fleet of 27. After World War II, the PCC design was licensed to multiple European companies. So over 15,000 of them were built overseas. They probably did, Chuck. I did not see, well, there wasn't any in this museum, but, like they were saying, they built tons of them and they were used all over the country. So they were a pretty popular, if you main text, what do you expect? Oh, yeah, I know. Wait a minute. Where's the PCC, AC, DC, DCC, gas or diesel? That's a good question. Was the PCC electric? You know what? Let me find out. Let me back this up here. AA 600. You know what? You're absolutely right, Ray. I have this book here, which I will show you in a little bit here. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ray. Thornburg 4398. That's a pretty cool car there. And again, there's Mini Me, and he had plenty of headroom on that one, so that worked out good. Again, it has the center doors on it. Munhall Lincoln, that was Pittsburgh. 1,000 cars of this type were built for service from 1910 to 1926. They originally painted red, and then they were painted orange. Yeah, they were originally red and then wanted to be painted orange. Originally built as unpowered trailers, had lower steps for faster boarding. Built by Westinghouse. Or the Westinghouse built the motors, so they built small motors to make these again economical. So again, this is a double-ended car that the conductor could get up and go to the other end of the trolley to operate it, and it was purchased by the Railroad Club in 1956. Nice looking restore on that, huh? All right, Sparky. Yeah, make sure you watch it. Up to 27. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Oh, that's cool. The Westinghouse motors. All right. Interesting. Monongahela. Did I spell that right? I sure did. The Monongahela 274. I don't remember much about this. I was just going through these. Built by the Jewett Car Company of Newark, Ohio, from the Fairmont Clarksburg Weston line in northern West Virginia. So yeah, these ran different lines in northern West Virginia, and that car was used as a summer retreat. So some of these cars that they got, DCC ready, but need a large decoder. That's pretty funny. Yeah, so there's a number of these cars that, when they were abandoned or the railroad line ceased to exist, they ended up being used for vacation homes or whatever. So, yeah, everybody go to the meet and greet. Sparky's waiting. Wouldn't it be funny if nobody showed up? No, it wouldn't be funny. That wouldn't be nice at all. Come on. Got to get the mouse on the right thing. So this is another one here. I forgot where this was in the series of slides here. So this one took a beating here. And this, again, is one that was used as a vacation home in New Jersey. And I wish I got better pictures of it. Some of these, they were just hard to get good pictures of. There's a close-up there, which kind of shows you a little living space right there. And so there was a passenger track that went with, it was literally 5 miles of track. Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania is in central Pennsylvania. So it went from Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania, it's near State College, I think, to Auntie's Fort Amusement Park. We'll be at your meet and greet, Sparky. I will be, I promise. As soon as I get my I got my passport, and I have to get my my PayPal account fixed so I can get you the money for that. So yeah, the Jersey Shore and Auntie's Fort, 5 miles of track, built by the Niles Car Manufacturing Company in Eastern Ohio. It was abandoned in the trolley line was abandoned in 1925, and the car sat along Pine Creek, and it was used as a house. And then Hurricane Agnes hit in 1974 and beat it up, and then it was unusable. So then it was moved to New Jersey, and then later donated to the museum in 1999, and then put on display in 2004. In the middle of work, death march, and then off my first sabbatical, so I can't get up to the meet and greet. Oh, okay, great. Okay, Great Northern. Okay, Philadelphia and Westchester. I'm sorry I didn't get better pictures of this. Again, we're going in, and I was like, did I take a picture of this or not? But this was a freight car. Kind of remind me of the Doodlebug concept there, but it was to carry freight. And Sparky, I hope Sparky didn't leave quite yet, but if you'll notice to the right of my head there, you see a sign. So watch your head. For obvious reasons. And of course, like I said, there's mini me, and he is no shorter than me at all. And yeah. So there he is. So this is another day. Never mind. But anyhow, yeah. Okay, so the Philadelphia and Westchester freight car. It was a powered freight car built in 1911 by the Jewett Car Company of Philadelphia and Westchester Traction Company. It was originally used for hauling milk from Philadelphia's western suburbs to Market Street, and then somewhere else, I guess, from there. Later, it was used as an overhead line car, like a maintenance of weight, until 1992. Dale Hudson's in the house. That's all right. You can watch the replay. Thank you so much for joining. Somebody caught that and actually confused me. What had happened was we went to the museum. I took some pictures, a couple, and then I forgot to finish taking pictures. And I went back the next day and I said, look, I was here yesterday. Here's my receipt. Can I go back and take some more pictures? So, Yeah, they were like, oh, okay. So they let me go in and take some more pictures. So yes, it is in fact a different day. SEPTA 209. This was known as the bullet nose. Again, it's hard to get good pictures in there. And yeah, the big giant seats in there. Niles, Ohio. Okay. Good to know there, train man. Okay. There's Dave driving the SEPTA 209. Out of a small chair. It's known as the Bullet. I wish I had a better picture of the front of this, but anyhow, operated through Philadelphia's prestigious mainline communities to terminals in Stratford and Norristown. Norristown isn't far from me, but entered service in 1931 and retired in 1990. So that was the Bullet train, or the Bullet streetcar. West Penn Railways 832. This is a cool design. I like this. It kind of looks like that Thornburg and something else. I forget which one. New Kensington, Cheswick, Blaunox, Aspinwall, Pittsburgh. Huh. Okay. The Valley Route, one of 12 cars introduced on the West Penn Railways in 1930. It included leather seats and thermostatically controlled heat. So that was a pretty nice car. At a Westinghouse nut engine and Timken roller bearings to reduce noise and provide a smoother ride. So it was abandoned in 1937 and then transferred to Western Pennsylvania's Coke region in Connellsville until the end of World War II. And what they mean by Coke is what they used to make steel. This is the Cincinnati Street Railway car 2227. This is outside. So if you visit the museum, they charge you $20, and with that $20, you get 2 tickets. You could ride this trolley, and then there's like an open air trolley that you get to go for a ride on. I did not get to go for a ride on this one. I did go for a ride on the other one. So the Cincinnati represents a standard for Cincinnati streetcars from 1911 and 1920. It operated in the Cincinnati Traction Company until 1951. Converted to a sand car after 1948. Oh, okay, yeah. So the trucks and power were removed, and then they had to add trucks from something else to get it to operate. Placed in service in 1013. I don't know what I did there. 2013. I guess so. So okay, special purpose cars. So yeah, all the cars that they got, they're trying their best to actually have them operational. So it's 846. We were moving right along. I think I have 6 more to show you. So special purpose cars, these are either locomotives or just special purpose, and you'll see. The Beaver Valley, you see on the bottom there, there's actually a broom or for clearing snow off of the tracks. Beaver Valley is north of Pittsburgh. Snow sweeper number 1, built by the McGuire Cummings Manufacturing Company in 1918. Operated on lines along the Ohio and Beaver River. Transferred to Pittsburgh Railways in 1935. I forget why I read it in the book. So it was used for something different after it was done operating as a snow sweeper. So it was renumbered M56 and used for something else until 1972. And then, so they went back and renamed it the original Beaver Valley 1. So. Okay. Yeah, again, I'm looking at these and the more I look stuff up, the more I find that I don't know. I could probably do a whole nother 2 hours on this, on streetcars and history and the lines. So yeah, that's a snow sweeper. Someone had mentioned the Red Arrow lines. So this street sweeper or the snow sweeper was bought again from the McGuire Cummings manufactured in 1922 for $4,000. What's unique about that particular snowblower or snow sweeper is that it's a double truck, 8-wheel powered car. And there was a blizzard in 1922, and this particular car is the only one that was able to clear the tracks. The other ones were kind of smaller. Let's see if we go. Yeah, if we go to this one, you can see it's kind of a small car. And of course, this one was in Pittsburgh, but this was more like what all the other snow sweepers looked like. And then this guy here is the big boy, the power. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, I guess, I mean, having a plow on I'll show you, there's one car in here that does have a plow on it, but I guess you could easily destroy the tracks if you're not careful. I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, so there's just another picture of the same car. So this was cool. The M283. It's a big crane car. And, well, I'll show you the pictures here. And I do have a video. We'll see if that will show up here. So the crane car M283 is especially designed for electric railways. It's built in 1929 by there's second typo, the Differential Car Company. Designed to work under trolley lines with a maximum height of 12 feet 3 inches. So yeah, that was kind of designed to work with that. And the Differential Car Company, they made that with a bunch of options, and other railways used them, but I'll show you in a minute. The cabin crane housing is raised to allow to carry long items like poles and track. It's hard to see on this here, but yeah, the guy on the left is the M283, and you can see how that cab is raised up so they could actually put rail or posts or poles or something like that on that bed to build the tracks. Trainman, they actually do operate. They can use. I mean, they're not going to go out and use snow with them, but they are restoring every single one of those cars to operate. Let me see if this video will play. Add the stage. There we go. So I just wanted to get a video of this to get the whole thing in here. And it's playing a little bit slow. What happened? Did I lose my PowerPoint? I did, in fact. Hold on a minute. I'm sorry, folks. I started to share the screen and I lost my slide. Do you guys see the slideshow or not? I wanted to show you that video and then I lost everything. There we go. I see what I did. Okay. You're at 8:53. Okay, we have about 3 more cars to show you. Boston Elevated Railway. So you can see this is what this is a ballast spreader. So that's just a car, like a dump car. Built by the Differential Car Company for track construction, streetcar lines of the Boston. So that was operated in Boston. Used to carry and spread ballast. And actually, I forgot to mention that crane that I showed earlier. What has actually been used for the museum? The museum got that. They got it operational, and then they realized, oh, this is fantastic, and they used it. And as well as this thing here, they used it to help build the lines for the museum. So this is operational. They do actually use it. So that's pretty cool. So it came to the museum in Kennebunkport, Maine. West Penn Railway is number 1. I forget what this is for. Oh, this here is like a little switcher. And what I don't think I put this in the description, but the base of that is filled with concrete and steel to give it weight. Last car to operate under West Penn Railway's ownership, served for 41 years to shift railroad freight cars at West Penn's main repair shop and car barn in Connellsville. Connellsville is kind of south, a little bit east of Pittsburgh. Originally built in 1915 to standard railroad gauge and later converted to wide gauge. The powerful motors have a 2-stage gear reduction, making it very powerful, and it only goes about walking speed, they say. So it was purchased by the museum in 1958, and then for an exhibit, and they said, hey, you know what? This is very useful. Monongahela or Mon West Penn 3000. Built by Westinghouse Electric, as you could tell. Of course, it's Westinghouse. Uses a Baldwin car body. It was built in 1920. Sold to the Monongahela Valley Traction Company for use on their interurban lines, which connected. We talked about I think the Monongahela Valley Traction in another slide. I forget. And also in the Fairmont, Clarksburg, and Weston line in West Virginia. So it remained in service until 1952 when trolley service was abandoned. Later used to shift coal cars at the Monongahela Power Company's generation station. And I think I have, is this it? Later used to shift coal. Oh, okay. I repeated that line. Brought to the museum in 1968 and restored to operating condition. So again, that is operating. And in case you're wondering, it weighs 54 tons. It's powered by 4 Westinghouse 100 horsepower traction motors. Boom. Slideshow. There you go. I took a selfie. The kid reminds me of Corey Feldman for some reason. That smile. And this is at the end of the tour, and the it kind of does. Yeah, that's yeah. And the guy that works in the museum was good enough to take a photo for us. So that is that. That's the end of the slideshow. Bam. How's that? We made it. Just about an hour. Stop sharing. So if you go to the museum, you can buy this book. So we're done with that show. Well, I could show you, there might be some other things there. Swiss crocodile. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Not as tall as the old man. Yeah, I guess he is just a little bit shorter there. Just maybe by an inch. Yeah. So I bought this book. It was $5, $4.95, whatever. And yeah, it has some better pictures in it than what I took, because of course they had it outside and could take pictures, from far away. And what they did is, I forget when they made this book. I think like 2004. And so since then, So there were a couple things that they needed to add. Like there's the Toledo car that they added. Um, these here. So you get the book and you get this insert with all the updates in it. I forget what I wanted to show you here. Well, there's the. Let's see. There's a street sweeper in action. How about the snow sweeper in action? Here's a better picture of that freight car that I was showing you. That's a better picture of it in the book here. So it's really cool because they have some pictures in here, from 1930s or whatever. So that's pretty cool. I dare not move this camera. Oh, here we go. The bullet nose I wanted to show you. And of course you're getting nothing but a glare. But yeah, that one train, the SEPTA, they called it the bullet nose, and you could barely tell because of the sky is very light blue and the top of that car is white. But anyhow, what's this one over here? Philadelphia and Westchester over there. I'm not going to read you the whole book. Don't worry. I promise. Here's one. Again, there's a trolley that they rescued that was made into a house. There's another one in here I want to show you. See if I can find that real quick. Here we go. Come on. There you go. So which one was this? The Monongahela West Penn 274. And so someone made it a vacation home, and the museum was lucky enough to be able to get it for the museum. Thank you very much, Joe Rader. Yeah, again, this was something, I was in the area. My kid says, we had some time, and he says, well, there's a trolley museum down the street. It's 3 miles away from the hotel. I was like, well, okay, then I guess that's where we're going. And yes, if you go in there, you can get yourself a Pennsylvania Trolley Museum calendar. So I can mark off my Sidetrack Sunday dates on there. It is exactly 9 o'clock. We are going to go through 1 or 2 more things. Here we go. You asked about the horse car, and you can't see that, can you? Barely. Okay. So that looks like the 101. Boxcar Jerry is out this way in near Philadelphia, and this museum is near Pittsburgh. I mean, I don't think he does, but hey, it's worth a couple minutes of overtime, huh? So yeah, I could do. Oh, you know what? I could do this easily here. Shoot, this is. You know what? I'm just going to go through this. So I did collect pamphlets in the train museum, and I'm going to go through these so you can go back if you're in the area. And this would be a great place for a meet and greet because there are a number of other trolley museums or train museums, displays, whatever. So the Monongahela River Railroad and Transportation Museum, there is the address. This is another museum north of Pittsburgh. Everett Railroad. So this is a railroad that you could take a ride on. Right there. Okay. Hollidaysburg, PA. I think it's more towards central Pennsylvania. Kruger Street Toy and Train Museum. That's in Wheeling, West Virginia, so that's a little bit further away. Well, actually, West Virginia is not that far from where this trolley museum is in Pennsylvania. We have a trolley museum. Where, I'm sorry, Dundas, I forget what town or city you're from. The Duquesne Incline. I'll get back to this. I always put in there Duquesne because you wouldn't get that if you weren't from Pittsburgh. But that's how you pronounce it. And I'll talk about that in just a minute on the... okay, you're Dundas. You're in Ontario. Okay. I think Sparky was talking about that. We might see part of that. I don't know. The Duquesne Middle. So this is another place that you can look up. And here's a hotel that you can stay at, the bed and breakfast hotel, and watch trains from the porch. All right, a bunch of train guys like us. Dundas. Okay, you're not kidding. I thought you were joking. There is actually a town called Dundas. Sorry. I'm getting a little tired. Okay, the Station Inn Bed and Breakfast. So Crescent, PA. Crap, I think that's near Central Pennsylvania. Rock Hill Trolley Museum. That's in South Central Pennsylvania. Okay, so I'm just showing you some places to visit. If you want to go back and look these up, there you go. Okay, so we'll remove that from there. The Tunnel Inn. You mean the where is the Tunnel Inn, Dave? Near Altoona. Oh yeah, it might be. I think you're right. I'm sorry. All right, I got these all confused. But so you can go back and I think you're right, Bob. But you go back and catch all those places. Yeah, right. I mean, we could find places anywhere. Thank you all so much for watching the Duquesne Incline project. Like I said, there's a guy in California that used to be from Pittsburgh that was, very excited that I would build that for him. And it's kind of, I've got a world of other stuff that I'm working on here, house projects, vehicle projects, things like that. So that's something that I'm kind of doing a little bit at a time. Like I said, on the incline project, I have to get next week. Next week is the Kutztown train meet, which I plan to go to. And I need to get some track for that project, for the Duquesne Incline project. And like I said, it'll probably be another 2 weeks or something before I make another video. And of course, Sparky was good enough to, again, advertise his meet and greet. I do plan on going. Again, I'm a little bit behind because I have a world of other projects that I'm working on here. So, yes, I do plan on going to Canada. I do have my passport. I got my passport. Is there anything else? Okay, thank you, Chuck, for joining. Horseshoe Curve, been there, done that. It's worth a visit. I enjoyed it. I was like, well, what's the big deal when you go to Horseshoe Curve? You're like, wow, this is really neat because you can see so much of the train from that area. So it is really, it's worth it, and I would do it again. John number 2 or Raybo Bell, you have a list of who's next week and the week after. Thank you so much for joining, Train Man. I think this was very successful. I originally had 27. I think 27 was my high, and then Sparky left, and then everybody else left. So, Next week, STS on Bob's channel. Okay, so check out Bob, PK&W Model Works. Check him out next week. Thank you very much, Edward. Again, if you go to the Trolley Museum and you're remotely interested, the book is $5. Of course, they appreciate the donation and everything. So, it's a lot of good stuff in there. Find out all kind of information you didn't know that you needed to know. Okay, he's leaving. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, thank you for joining. And again, thank you so much for the trolley. This is the guy, JJ, that sent me the Coney Island. So thank you again so much. That was awesome. Yes, Nathan, I am too. Again, that's a whole month away. I'm trying to get through this week. So, yes. Is there anything else that I need to go over? I don't think so. So we have next week is Bob. That's the Trolley Museum. I did have a bunch of other pictures and videos, but that's that. So, yes. All right. Thank you, John. Number 2. So with that, I'm going to say again, thank you everyone so much for watching. See my picture of a trolley right there? You like that? All right. I don't know when I'm doing this again. Ray, let me know when I'm doing Sidetrack Sunday again. All right. Thank you everyone so much for joining. We'll catch you next time. All right. We're out of here. Peace.